The Code of Hammurabi is one of the most fascinating and influential legal documents in human history. Dating back to around 1754 BCE, this ancient Babylonian code provides incredible insights into the society, economy, and values of the time. The Code of Hammurabi is not only a cornerstone of ancient legal systems but also a window into the complexities of life in one of the earliest civilizations. Historical context: the rise of Babylon. To understand the significance of the Code of Hammurabi, we must first look at the context in which it was created. Hammurabi was the sixth king of the first Babylonian dynasty, reigning from around 1792 to 1750 BCE. His reign marked a period of significant expansion and consolidation of power in Mesopotamia, the region that roughly corresponds to modern-day Iraq and parts of Syria, Turkey, and Iran. Before Hammurabi's time, Mesopotamia was a collection of city-states often at war with each other. Hammurabi inherited the throne of a relatively small and insignificant kingdom, but through a combination of military prowess, diplomacy, and strategic alliances, he expanded his rule to cover much of Mesopotamia, creating what is often referred to as the Babylonian Empire. The purpose of the Code of Hammurabi was created during the latter part of Hammurabi's reign, likely as a means to unify the diverse peoples under his rule. By establishing a comprehensive set of laws, Hammurabi aimed to maintain order, enforce justice, and consolidate his authority over the newly expanded empire. The code was intended to be a permanent and public declaration of the king's commitment to justice, ensuring that everyone, from the wealthy landowner to the lowly slave, was subject to the same legal principles. The structure of the Code of Hammurabi is inscribed on a large, black stone stele that stands over 7 feet tall. The stele was discovered in 1901 by a French archaeological expedition in the ancient city of Susa, in modern-day Iran, where it had been taken as a spoil of war. The stele is now housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris. The code consists of 282 laws, although some numbers are missing due to damage to the stele. These laws cover a wide range of topics, including property rights, trade, family law, labor, personal injury, and criminal justice. The code is written in Akkadian, the lingua franca of the time, and is arranged in a prologue, the laws themselves, and an epilogue. Prologue. The prologue is a lengthy introduction in which Hammurabi presents himself as the chosen ruler by the gods to bring justice to the land. He describes his role as a shepherd to his people and emphasizes his commitment to protecting the weak and ensuring justice for all. The laws are arranged thematically rather than by severity of punishment. They cover virtually every aspect of life in Babylon, from the regulation of commerce to family law and criminal justice. The laws are often very specific, detailing particular scenarios and the corresponding punishments or resolutions. Epilogue. In the epilogue, Hammurabi reflects on his achievements as a ruler and reaffirms the divine authority behind the code. He also issues a warning to future rulers, urging them to uphold the code and ensure that justice continues to be served. Key themes and principles. The Code of Hammurabi is based on the principle of lex talionis, or the law of retaliation, often summarized as an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This principle is evident in many of the punishments prescribed by the code, which often involve direct retribution. For example, if a person caused the loss of another's eye, their own eye would be put out as punishment. However, the code is not purely retributive. It also incorporates principles of compensation, protection of property, and the importance of social hierarchy. The punishments for crimes often vary depending on the social status of the victim and the perpetrator. For instance, harming a person of higher status usually resulted in a more severe punishment than harming someone of lower status. Another key theme of the code is the protection of the vulnerable. Several laws are designed to protect widows, orphans, and the poor, reflecting Hammurabi's portrayal of himself as a guardian of justice. For example, the code includes provisions to prevent the exploitation of the poor by wealthy creditors and to ensure that orphans and widows were not deprived of their inheritance. Family law and social structure. The Code of Hammurabi provides a detailed look at family law and the social structure of ancient Babylon. The family was the basic unit of society, and many of the laws pertain to marriage, divorce, inheritance, and parental authority. Marriage. The code details the legal obligations of husbands and wives, the conditions under which a marriage could be dissolved, and the penalties for adultery. Marriage contracts were common, and the code includes provisions for the protection of dowries and the rights of women in marriage. Divorce. Divorce was allowed under certain conditions, and the code specifies the rights of both parties in the event of a divorce. For example, if a husband divorced his wife without just cause, he was required to return her dowry and pay her compensation. On the other hand, if a wife was found guilty of infidelity, she could be punished severely, including by death. Inheritance. The code also outlines rules for inheritance, ensuring that property was passed down through the male line, but also providing for the rights of daughters and wives in the absence of male heirs. Crime and punishment. One of the most striking aspects of the Code of Hammurabi is its detailed approach to crime and punishment. The laws cover a wide range of offenses, from theft and assault to fraud and breach of contract. Theft. Theft was considered a serious crime, and the punishment often involved restitution, sometimes up to tenfold the value of the stolen goods. In more severe cases, the thief could be put to death. Assault. The code includes numerous laws regarding personal injury, with punishments varying according to the status of the victim and the perpetrator. For example, if a man struck a member of the nobility and caused a permanent injury, he could be severely punished, possibly even by losing a hand. Fraud. Fraud, particularly in trade and commerce, was also harshly punished. The code sought to protect the integrity of business transactions and the rights of both buyers and sellers. Economic regulation. The Code of Hammurabi also provides extensive regulations on economic activities. This reflects the importance of commerce in Babylonian society and the need to ensure fair and consistent practices. Trade. The code includes laws on the sale of goods, contracts, loans, and interest rates. Merchants and traders were required to adhere to certain standards, and fraudulent practices were met with strict penalties. Agriculture. Agriculture was the backbone of the Babylonian economy, and the code includes numerous laws related to farming, irrigation, and land ownership. These laws were designed to ensure the proper use of land and resources and to protect the rights of landowners and tenants. Wages and labor. The code also sets out rules for wages and labor conditions, including the rights and responsibilities of workers and employers. For example, the code specifies the wages of various types of workers, from laborers to skilled craftsmen, and includes provisions for the compensation of workers injured on the job. Justice and the legal system. The Code of Hammurabi was more than just a set of laws, it was a statement about the nature of justice and the role of the king as the ultimate arbiter of that justice. Hammurabi portrayed himself as a just ruler, chosen by the gods to bring order to his people. Judicial procedures. The code outlines the procedures for bringing a case to court, the roles of judges and witnesses, and the importance of evidence. False accusations were severely punished, reflecting the value placed on truth and fairness in legal proceedings. Divine justice. The code also reflects the belief in divine justice. Many of the laws invoke the gods as witnesses to the truth of legal oaths, and some punishments are designed to appease the gods or reflect their will. The legacy of the Code of Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi had a profound impact on the development of legal systems in the ancient world and beyond. While it was not the first set of laws in human history, it is one of the most complete and well-preserved. The code influenced later legal traditions in the Near East and provided a model for the development of other legal systems. Influence on later laws. The principles and structure of the Code of Hammurabi can be seen in later legal codes, such as the Mosaic Law of the Hebrew Bible and the Roman 12 Tables. Its emphasis on justice, the protection of property, and the regulation of commerce set a precedent for legal systems throughout history. Modern significance. Today, the Code of Hammurabi is studied not only as a historical artifact but also as a key document in the history of law and governance. It provides valuable insights into the social, economic, and religious life of ancient Babylon and serves as a reminder of the enduring importance of justice and the rule of law. Conclusion: the Code of Hammurabi is more than just an ancient legal document, it is a testament to the complexity and sophistication of early human societies. Through its detailed laws and the principles it enshrines, the Code offers a glimpse into the challenges of governing a diverse and expanding empire. Hammurabi's Code stands as one of the earliest and most influential examples of a legal system.